Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Kamen Rider Zero One. You guys, I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, last time on Zero One, we got more big dramatic stuff, you guys. So, what happened at the end completely made me just like, I don't think I mentioned this in my last intro for my last reaction, or outro, rather. But, yeah, so can Yua, Fua, and Guy even transform now? Like, Thouser's done. Like, the driver's gone. I don't know if they can reproduce another one. But it looked like I think they said the data had been wiped off the chips of Fua and Yua's drivers. I don't know if they can get that back, if there's a backup. I would think maybe there's more of a chance they can get theirs back than Guy can get his back. Like, was that the last time we're gonna see Thouser? That would be insane. But guys, just what they're doing on the show is absolutely incredible, because what they're doing is taking these concepts that have been given to us in kind of I feel like very kind of nice, normal Kamen Rider level doses of like acceptance and things like that, and Aruto fighting for the Humagears and believing in their dreams, and just very good stuff, and kind of like kind of given to us in that very normal Kamen Rider dose. And then they took that and they were like, but let's show people what happens if they don't do that. And that's when it got crazy. And I was just skimming through the last episode before I started this, and watching Aruto, I'm like, this is the guy that was basically like Fozzie Bear if he became president of a company, with his terrible jokes and his just sweetness and silliness. And yes, he was determined in his dream, but I mean, to take that show and turn it into this show, they are just doing some crazy stuff, and I love it. I absolutely love what they're doing, and I do hear that they're trying to make this unlike any other Kamen Rider series ending, which I think is awesome. Also makes me a bit more nervous about all the people we've lost, because typically this is when they start killing people off, and then they're all kind of brought back and like by the last episode. And that's not necessarily the case here. We lost Jin, and I feel like, I don't know why I feel like it, I really feel like that might be it. Izu, I don't know if we'll get her back, but it's really starting to look like maybe no. I feel like usually it takes them like an episode to do that, Like, I feel like she would have shown up at the end of the last one. But I could be wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, because I want them both to come back. But I have to say that the tragedy and beauty in what they did with Jin's death in the last episode was really remarkable, because Horobi had taken everything from Aruto, and without even realizing it, just by being fueled by his need for revenge and his rage and his malice, Aruto accidentally took everything from Horobi. And that is what happens with those negative emotions. They just, like Guy was saying, like when it spreads from person to person, and they just kind of feed off each other, One person enacts malice on another, so they do it back, and then it makes it worse, and it's just, where do you end, And that is how you get, I feel like the pinnacle of just rage and malice and strife and conflict and human tragedy is probably war. And that's exactly what Arc has been after. It's exactly what Azu has been after, is starting a war. And I feel like Aruto was the last person to stand in that gap between humans and Humagears, trying to make them both happy, trying to make them both see each other and accept each other. Once they lost Aruto in that regard, I feel like they just had carte blanche to just come in and just spread the hate. And that's exactly what's happening. And I think Aruto has fully realized like what he's done now. Like, I have to say, that actor, he is so silly and goofy and wacky when he wants to be, but when he was like having his breakdown over realizing that he had just killed Jin, that actor just did a phenomenal job of like, I felt like I was having a panic attack for him. So really, they have all done a phenomenal job this season. Like, they've really, and they've done it all too. Like, they've done everything from wackiness to this. I do have to say, in a few episodes, this show changed tones so much that when they tried to have like the vice president and whoever is, I think his assistant is, when they tried to have them like doing wacky humor, I was like, no guys, no, this is not that show anymore. Get out, no, stop. Cut. Yeah, so that's my spiel, guys. I believe this is the next to last episode. Cannot imagine where we're going with this. I'm assuming they're gonna bring it around so we have a happy ending, but I mean, I don't know, at this point I could really see, like, I guess Arc is gonna take over Horobi now. That was gonna be that was probably the plan all along. Was just to use Aruto to provoke Horobi to a point where he could be Arc again. But I could really see this, like, I could see this ending with, like, Aruto has to sacrifice himself to make sure that those dreams that he lived for carry on. I really hope I'm wrong, but I could see them, like, doing a drastic move like that. So, there's only one way to find out. What do you say we get started? Next episode. Let's go. Guys, this has gotten very real very quickly. The whole, like, the Humagears and their demonstrations and how, like, the already, like, the strain on everything just being fed so easily by humans responding with malice towards them. And, like, when you're being assaulted or something, your natural inclination is to fight back. So we're just going back and forth here. We're just going back and forth. The only one who got it right was Yua. She let the thing hit her and she came over and she just was like, I see you. I see you. That is all the Humagears want. They just want to know that they have representation of their dreams and their rights. That's it. And Aruto stood for that. And when Aruto made the decision to give in to his rage, to think that all of that is being undone by one decision. And I know that he feels like there's no going back, but there's always going back. He could come out to them right now and tell them, I made the worst mistake of my life. I can never take it back. But I still believe in your dreams and I'll spend my life trying to make it right. It's not perfect. No, not everyone's going to like it, but it's something. It's trying. But you know what? The Azu, as long as he has her just, wrapping her slinky little arms around him. Oh, that's such a creepy and great, perfect visual. Boy, whoever was in charge of this season just went above and beyond. Above and beyond. So, Horobi got an upgrade. I love Arc Scorpion. Did we see Arc Scorpion before? I feel like maybe Izu saw that. Is that what she saw? I'm trying to remember now. It was a few episodes back. But man, it looks incredible. So now we've got Arc versus Arc. Malice versus Malice. All anyone has to do here is just respond with peace. Just once. If anyone just responded peacefully just once, the cycle is broken. Jin's coming back. Thank God Jin is... If Jin can come back, can we get Izu back? Is there any way? He was connected to there for a second, and we know that there was a part of Izu. So is there a chance? I feel like maybe there is. No pun intended. There is. What a beautifully done episode about just so much more than Kamen Rider, if I'm being honest. It's It's about life, which I think is part of what makes it so poignant, especially in a time when there's so much strife and conflict going on. It's wow. Just to watch them illustrate these points. It's really moving and really, I'm just so glad that they're doing what they're doing on this show. Guy came through. Oh my God. Guy made you a captain again. Yes. Oh my gosh. Fua becoming Japanese wolf. Naki and Fua working together. Fua making Naki's will his own. So perfect. Every character here had their own story and their own thing going on this series. And to think that we would come to a point where all of whatever they had going on would all make sense in like that moment of the episode. It's just so crazy, incredibly well done, guys. I know I'm going around in circles talking about how good it is, but wow, I really think that might be the best one of like the more serious ones so far. And there's been some really good ones, like finding out about Aruto becoming Arc was a great twist. But man, I think this one just like hit me. It just hit me. It really did. So I'm going to spend the next week dwelling on this. I do not know how we're going to wrap this up. I'm hoping we'll at least get the one resurrection. Don't know what's going to happen with humans, Humagears, their dreams, Aruto, Horobi, who's making it out of this alive, who isn't. And we have one episode to wrap this up. We're not getting an epilogue with this show, I guess. Like sometimes they wrap things up and we get a little epilogue. No. All right, guys. That was a phenomenal episode. I really hope you enjoyed watching it with me. I'm sure I'll have more to say next time when I've just kind of processed all of this because it was such a big episode. I loved it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time for the finale of Kamen Rider Zero One. We will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.